All right, what's going on, everybody? About to send this link out, then we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, I had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we got it fixing and everything running now, so that's fine. And we got it before London session, so we can go ahead and get started as usual. So I'm looking at GJ right now, kind of like how it's looking. But of course, I want to wait till London session, see when the volume picks up to see what direction it wants to go. Because as we can see here, last week we had all that news going on and it was a huge down. Then yesterday, broke through multiple zones and shot back up, and now we're right here. And potentially going to be looking for sales because this is a very strong support resistance level right here, as we can see. So, and so far today it's been respecting it, so that's a good sign. So what I want to look for is possible sales. We can see the rejection went down, so we can see it's pushing down as we speak. So I'll definitely be considering entering this trade very soon. Again, it's just a trade idea. I'm just getting the trade idea set up. And then I'll decide later if I'm going to enter or not. But as of now, I'm just watching. London session starts in 5 minutes, so we're going to see what happens then. Also, keep an eye on the futures and indices. We entered them yesterday. They're doing a retracement back down, so I want to see if it come back underneath the zone and then look for potential sales again. That is the plan. Missed the gold sale yesterday. Going to try to see if we can make it up for today. It is in a good spot for potential sell, but of course I like to see it's going to retrace more and see if we can get closer to the zone right here. But this probably won't be until pre-New York session, the way things are looking, which I have no problem waiting. Because again, we're at a very sensitive area. It didn't go zone to zone, but it went to the middle of the zone, which is a good sign. So it's still a bunch of bearish momentum because as we can see when we go on the bigger time frame, that we are in a downtrend still. It played around all day yesterday, but then I talked about yesterday's live stream, so if you haven't watched that, make sure to watch it. But I wanted to wait for it to come down here to look for potential sales because as you can see, we're in a downtrend. So until the uptrend truly begins, we shouldn't really be looking for buys. And the reason why it's been ranging is because this is a support resistance level right here. But on top of that, it has all this traffic it would have to break to continue going back to the upside. So it is in a very sticky situation right there. But we were still able to secure a quick few thousand pips yesterday on it, just by patiently waiting for the momentum and volume to push it back downwards. So that's what we're waiting for right now. I want to see it potentially come back under here during London or New York session, and then possibly look for sales to see it either come back to here or finish the move back down. So just going to be keeping an eye on that to see what it's going to do. Like I was saying, I like how GJ is looking. So depending on the 15-minute candlestick when London session starts, I may or may not call this out. It's on top of this level of price right here. But the past few candlesticks has been pushing down. Did a retest of the zone right here and rejected it, treating it as a resistance level like it did right here. But it's on this wall here and this wall right here. So if the next candlestick can push and break through this wick and then break through this level, it can potentially continue to break back down to hit this wall right here, or it could come to here or here. But this wall right here would be a good checkpoint because it's another sensitive area right here. But that'll still be good. A lot of pips even from right here because it's at 153.70 right now. So 153.70 to 155.70 to 154. That's almost 100 pips. That's at least good 60 pips right there. So definitely wouldn't complain if we got in on that sell there. But again, just waiting. Hasn't even been London session yet, so these are just trade ideas. Just looking at the charts right now to see exactly what pairs I would like to be looking at. I was looking at GBPJPY as well, same thing, potential sell setup. So I was looking at it yesterday, but decided to leave it alone. So I might decide to enter it again today. Well, enter today, I should say, if the setup is looking nice. If it wants to load too. Give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah, I'm starting to learn I can't have as many tabs I like open when streaming versus when I'm not streaming, because usually it's no issue having all these tabs open, but when streaming it does make things a little bit slower. So let me just refresh it real quick. Well, while that's loading, let's keep an eye on this. New 5-minute candle just popped up and it's pushing back down, so that's good. And it did break underneath this wall in the 5-minute. So what I want to see with this 5 minutes continue to retest, but it did break underneath. So, but again, London session is 5 minutes away, so I'm in no rush to enter this trade because it could very much likely the next candlestick be a retest / retracement candlestick to right here, and then the move can begin. Very much likely can happen. And oh well, I'm gonna go back on that later. But I am liking how this is looking right here. So do not be surprised if I do call a signal out for sales, because this is a good sign. I did break that wall like I was talking about wanting to see it do. So it is most likely going to retrace up a little like it's doing right now, retest to about this level here, and then the volume is still going our way, break these walls right here, and potentially go to right here. This will be the first main checkpoint. Of course, the main goal would be right here, but it is Tuesday, so depending on volume and how things are looking, it may or may not go that far. But even right here is still good, almost 1 to 2 risk to reward, which isn't bad. Hey, what's going on, Terrence? How you feeling, man? Yeah, but as of now, this is gonna be my main concern. There ain't too much going on red folder wise. I was just looking at it. This probably ain't gonna load either. Man, I don't want to close all these tabs out because this is usually how I like to trade. I usually like to just flip through the tabs, switch up the screens on the monitor, this, down, the third. But it's loading right now, so that's cool. So 4 a.m. my time, I'm on Eastern Standard. There's regular news going on. There's no red folders. There's only 2 red folders. That's at 7:30 a.m. EST for the USD. Federal Chair Powell speaks, and then 10 a.m. 2 hours into New York, consumer confidence. But other than that, it's going to be looking like a pretty smooth Tuesday, which is good. So all we're going to be really looking for is waiting for volume, going with the trend as always, and then waiting for the best entries and momentum to go on our side. So let's see if this is going to work again. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, so yeah, and we had a pretty good Monday. Not gonna lie, it was a little bit slow, future indice wise, even currency pair wise, but we still were able to catch some pips. This all just comes down to patience and just waiting for the ideal opportunities to come your way. So like I was saying with GBPAUD, we were already in a little nice consistent downtrend, but with that news that went on last week and then the crazy candlestick yesterday, it helped shoot us down, and now we're right here. So it's still respecting this right here. Did the retest and filled up this imbalance to the 50%. So that's pretty good right there. So depending on the way volume looks, I will be calling sales for this as well. And the new 15-minute and 5-minute candlestick and London session is about to start in 1 minute, about 30 seconds. So we're going to see what it's looking like from there. But this will be my potential setup right here for GBPAUD. So I'm going to be looking at GJ and GBPAUD as of right now. Yeah, that thing's shooting down. So this next candlestick either is going to continue to shoot down or it could be a retracement candlestick. But this is looking good right here. And those that are either watching this after the stream or hopping in for the first time, this is the recap of how we did yesterday. Oh, click was still on. We didn't lose any trades. Not every trade went to every TP, but every trade had at least one TP. We caught 5 pips on AUDCHF. Euro CAD, we caught 111 pips. GBPJPY, we caught 16. GER30, we caught 4,100 pips. And the US30, we caught 16,600 pips. Total of 20,832 pips. End of the day 5-0. So that's pretty, can't complain about that on a Monday. And yeah, so it looks like it's doing a slight retest, but it looks like it is going to continue to push down. So I might be calling these signals out very soon. But again, London just started, not in a rush, but I do like how these setups are looking, and they're in the perfect position for entry as we speak. So I'm going to go ahead and get these signals ready. I'll let you know when I personally enter. But I'm just looking at other things as well to see what they're doing. Yeah, so all this stuff's retracing back down. So I'm going to wait for them to retrace back down to this zone before I even mess with them. But I'm just looking at everything right now, see what it's doing. All right, so let's go back to GJ. Yeah, so it's doing a little retest. So I like how it's doing. So yeah, I am going to enter. This is a decent stop loss right here. Could put it tighter, but could put it like right there. And so stop loss I'm looking at would be about 157. You say 157.40. Or you can bring it down to 157.30. Up to you. Kind of like how 157.30 is looking. But this wick, I want to make sure the stop loss is above that wick right there. So that's why I have the stop loss there. But I do believe it's going to continue to the downside. So I'm about to go ahead and get this signal ready and post this out. And again, it's early into London, so retracements and retests are very much likely to happen. So when you're in profit, do not be afraid to secure those profits and get worked out in profit. Entry is going to be so 157. Let's just do 157.40. And then make sure not to over leverage, y'all. Excuse me. Okay, so this is doing a retest. It hasn't broken this wall yet, so I do believe it will continue to shoot down, even with that questionable candlestick. Yeah, because it did the retest here. It's pushing down. So I do believe it will continue to push down. I went to fill this up. Hasn't really broken above this level yet on the 4-hour. Retesting this level of price right here. And it's got this wall to break before it can even come back onto the side of price. It's got this wall to break right here. This wall to break right here. Definitely like how those are looking. Yeah, so I think those are just doing retests. So let me get these ready. And I was looking at Euro CHF as well. So let me see what that's doing. Because I'm looking at sales for this as well. Pretty standard. We're in a downtrend, as you can see. It started here. We've been in a downtrend since June. So literally a few months. You see the retracements. But for overall, on the daily time frame, we're in a downtrend. Had a retracement here. Could have said that was a little uptrend, but the downtrend began again here. So, and we're at an ideal place for entry. So let's take a closer look right here to see what is going on. Did nice retest already. It's underneath this level of price right here. So if volume continues to go our way with the direction of price, we could very much break through these levels very easily. It's not that many levels of traffic Euro CHF has. So if volume is truly pumping London, especially into New York session, we can catch a huge amount of pips. And this would be a pretty nice 1 to 4 risk to reward setup. I like how this is looking. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that, but I do like how that is looking. That is a very good trio of candlesticks to look at. Yeah, this is doing a nice little retest. So let me just see out of curiosity what the other JPY pairs are doing, because we caught a few pips on a buy with New Zealand JPY, and it looks like this is still respecting this level for a buy right here, which is interesting. But again, these are different pairs, so they could try to do their own thing, but usually the JPY pairs move in the same direction, which is interesting. But you can see it's still pushing down, so this one could flip the script on us as well. Yep, so let me go ahead and post this. Oh, before I post this though, I need to put the disclaimer out. Give me 1 second, y'all. Where's it at? And those watching the live stream, I am going to be putting the signals and the TPs and SLs into the free signal room. That's going to be the first link in the description. So go ahead and click that first link and join the free signal room so you can be updated when TPs get hit, when I enter more trades, and all of that good stuff. So give me 1 second. All right, so now it's in there. And like I always say, please use proper risk. Treat every trade the same. Never be too confident in a trade. You can be confident it's going to go your direction, but just because you believe it's going to go your direction, that doesn't mean you need to break any or bend any of your trading plan rules, over leverage, things like that. You need to trade the same percentage, same risk, and treat every trade the same. That way your losses stay consistent as well as your wins. Because if you switch your lot size up with any trade and it does not go your way, you can destroy all your hard work for the week, past couple weeks, months, and etc. So it's very important to keep that in mind. And also, most importantly, also to secure the profits, because once the screen turns blue on your end, it is your responsibility to make sure it doesn't turn red again. Obviously, in the beginning of the trade, that's a little bit different, but I'm talking about when volume and momentum is going our way and price is pushing and you are a decent pips in profit, you need to make sure that you secure those profits. So it was Euro CHF I was looking at. So a new 5-minute candlestick's about to start. So depending on what that's looking like, I may not enter because it's looking good. Already broke past this wall right here. So I just got this main one right here to break. But again, I'm not too worried about that when volume comes into play, because we had the direction of price going our way. We had the momentum of the zones going our way. And as we see, we're in a very clear downtrend. We went zone to zone yesterday on it, which is a good sign. And we started right back where we started yesterday, which is another good sign. So, and this nice solid wall and level of resistance got built over the past few weeks. So it could very much push and dump again. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Yeah, new 5-minute just started. So it's trying to retest this level right here is underneath. Don't know if it's going to break it, but it's retesting it right now. But after the retest, I like to see it just do a slight retest and then bounce down and then attempt to break this level. It can break this level and come here. That is a good amount of pips, but I like to see it break this level or this level right here. But again, that's going to take volume. It's not going to just do that on its own. That's going to take volume to break those levels of traffic. But it looks like it is still pushing to the downside, which is good. So when this next 15-minute candlestick pops up, depending on what it's looking like, may or may not enter this trade. Now, I did call out the GJ sell. It is still retesting this level here. But I did call the sell out. All the TPs and SLs are in the free signal room. So, and it's pushing down, it's trying to push back down. So that's a good sign. So just I'm chilling, looking at this trade while keeping an eye on the other charts to see if there's any other potential setups we can enter or look at or keep an eye on for New York session. Yep, so it's just slowly doing this thing. Well, let's see what the next 15-minute candlestick in 3 minutes is going to look like. But while we're doing that, just going to be scanning the other charts. Just keeping an eye on what they're doing. But again, US30, I'm not going to be entering buys. I'm going to be strictly looking for sells. Because even right here, you saw yesterday, it just was ranging back and forth, waited for it to break back down, then hopped in the sells, and we were able to catch a good amount of pips. Did multiple retests too, so not only do we have multiple times to, collect some quick few hundred pips each time, but also had multiple times to safely get out the trade and exit, which is most important. Didn't really mess with NAS yesterday though, because it's kind of been doing its own thing. It probably moved down when US30 was, but for the most part, it was wasn't a good setup. It was above the zone still, so decided to leave it alone. And as you can see here, it's actually in a better setup for today because it is closer to the top. Yesterday it was ranging around here, but I guess with the retracement back up with US30 and everything, it has went back to the top of the zone. I'd like to see it get a little bit closer before I would even consider entering, but that is a good sign as of right now. But as you can see, it is doing something a little bit different from US30, which is a little bit new because usually NAS does what everything else does. It follows US30 like SPX does, like EUSDX does. They all look very similar to US30. USCX pushing back down, which is a good sign. Even GBPJPY is doing the same thing. But NAS100, on the other hand, is trying to follow suit right now. which is a good sign. But you can see the other candlesticks on the 15-minute time frame are a little bit more harsh and aggressive with the drop. Well, now it's following US30, so now it's just shutting me up. But a second ago, it wasn't doing that. But that's fine. So let's see what gold is doing. Gold is doing a nice retracement up as well. So yeah, potentially pre-New York or New York session, going to be looking for some sell positions on those. But as of now, I got a few currency pairs I want to keep an eye on. New 15-minute candlestick and 5-minute candlestick just popped up. So it's doing a retest, which is normal, which is what I wanted to see because we want to get in on the retest candles. That way we'll be able to catch more pips when it's going the direction we believe it's going to go. And we see that last 15-minute candlestick ended with the huge rejection wick, filled up the imbalance on this candle here, but ended with a huge rejection wick. And it looks like this candlestick is going to continue to try to push down, which is what I wanted to see it do, retest and then push down. So that's what it looks like it's trying to do. Still trying to struggle to break through this wall, but once it does that and stays under that wall, we should be in a good position. So let me see what GBPAUD is doing. If it's doing the same thing. Looks like it's trying to push down as well. So that's good. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that. It's dropping down. So that's a good sign. And let me just see what EuroCHF is doing. EuroCHF is doing very similar, the same thing. It's just got this wall right here, but it has this wall traffic as well. And again, we are in an overall downtrend. So when volume picks up, I do very much see this continuing to go down because again, when we go on the bigger time frame, it's already done retracements, already done all that stuff. So when volume picks up, it should very much. I'd like to see a dump, especially in New York session. So, and if it can break this wall, that's going to be a very good sign. So we just need, this is the main obstacle right here is this wall. But if it breaks this wall, we're deep in profit regardless. But it could reject off of this. But even if it does that, it would have to try to break through this wall again. So this is the main thing we need to try to see it break is this wall right here. So if it can do this, one will be deep in profit, and then two, momentum can potentially keep it pushing our way. And then the SL I'm looking at was going to be like 95.80. So bring it up a little bit. So this is a little bit of a smaller of a SL compared to GJ because the GJ pair is usually 100, 200 pip SL. So do keep that in mind. But you also can gain a lot more pips with JPY pairs, which is why I like to trade JPY pairs. Anyone new, trying to figure out like what pairs are good pairs to look at. Well, a lot of pairs I call are good pairs, but JPY pairs are pretty good. USD pairs, things like that. So like GBP, JPY, GBP, USD, Euro USD, gold. Those are good pairs to start to look at for beginners, just to get used to charts. And also, any size account can trade those. Like, it doesn't matter what your account size is. So that's another good thing. Yeah, so I like how this is looking. Just doing a slight retest. Just keeping an eye on it. Looking very similar to AUD. Yeah, but then again, we're still very early into London. We're just 20 minutes in, so no rush. This is still playing around and ranging. Let's see here. New Zealand. AUD New Zealand is looking interesting. It's in an uptrend. Hit this lower right here and rejected harshly and shot back under the zone. Yeah, so hit this level right here. Failed to hit this high right here. So I'm just going to put the zone right on top. Just going to do that right there. Yeah, but hitting that level of traffic and that wall caused it to shoot all the way down on the daily. But we are in an uptrend, so it could very much come back onto this level of the zone, treat it as a support level, and we could potentially look for buys. So that is what I'm most likely looking for because, again, it is in an uptrend, had a retracement, rejected off a wall, but unless it is showing me otherwise, I might potentially look for buys. Still early to either enter, buy, or sell. So depending on what these next few candlesticks do will determine my position on this trade. But first, I'd like to see it break back up here, break through this zone, and continue up. Or it could very much begin the downtrend because it has been in an uptrend for a little while as well. Because after I broke through this ranginess right here, we caught some buys here, caught some sells here. And this is when the uptrend really began right here. Broke through here, lower high, higher high, lower high. Then it kind of just shot up here and hit that level and retraced. So it could potentially respect this as a resistance and shoot down, but still going with the trend, going to be looking for a buy setup. So, and it's still, like I said, going on a smaller time frame, it's still too early to enter a sell or a buy based on these candlesticks and what just happened. So I'm going to be looking for a buy primarily, but I'm not entering anything as of now. I'm just paying attention to see what it's going to do. And GJ, not surprising, is still kind of struggling to break that wall, but you can see it's still trying by these wicks. So when volume comes into play, I do very much believe it could dump and potentially hit this level right here, which I'd like to see. But of course, it would have to break through this wall first and hit this level here before it would get anywhere. But I do believe it is very much possible. Euro CHF still doing the nice little retest, which is no issue. Yeah, so we're just going to be waiting. We have a lot of potential setups. So we're just waiting for confirmations from the candlesticks as well as volume to come into the markets. Then we will enter and watch and see what happens. Yeah, this stuff's still ranging. Yeah, but as far as GJ goes, we're about, let's see here. Oh, I'm tripping. The TP already got hit, apparently. TP1 got hit. It retraced a little bit, though. Did it really get hit? At least on my broker is saying it got hit. What is this right here? I guess it did get hit. Because my broker is saying it got hit. Which is interesting. But I'll just wait till it gets hit again. it said it got hit on my end, but still gonna be waiting. Like that's looking. Euro New Zealand, very much the same thing. Might be looking for potential buy setups, mainly because again it's in the uptrend. Hit that level on that zone and then the harsh retracement down and rejection, but still overall it is an uptrend, so it is going to the bottom of the zone where we could potentially look for some buys to push it back upwards. My bad, y'all. Setting some alerts up, but yeah, as you can see, it came back down to this level. It's still trading at the support level. So what I like to see it do is shoot back up to potentially catch another buy opportunity. So I like to see it respected as a support level and then shoot back up. That's all I like to see it do. But again, it's just a trade idea. It's still too early to enter this trade. Have to wait for some candlesticks to confirm my idea before we enter. But that's just my idea as of for now. Yeah, so it looks like these are going to be ranging for a little bit, which is fine. 4 minutes, new 5 minute, and new 15-minute candlestick appear. So we're going to see exactly what happens from there. GBP looking like volume just pushed into the market for it, which is cool. So while that's still doing this thing, we'll be looking at these other pairs to see what's going on. This is still treating this as a resistance level as of now. But again, it's still early into the day and still just about 30 minutes into London session. So things can very much, when volume picks up, change or confirm what we're looking for. Yeah, because we went for buys yesterday for New Zealand JPY, hit a few TPs. Then after hit this level, same highs as this, it rejected back down, got worked out in profit, came all the way down here. Then you can see a shot back up here. Is respecting this as a support level again. And it looks very similar to what's going on right here, but it's just on the other side of the zone. So let's see what happens with that trade. But while we're waiting, let's look at the other trade ideas we have. Still retesting. So again, this next 15-minute candlestick is going to be important to determine. It's going to be important just to see what happens with this, because again, we have the retest candle here. So this next 15-minute candlestick, I want to see it push back down. That's what I like to see it do, push back down. Same thing with GJ. Especially because, you know, we enter sales for that. So I like to see the next candlestick push it back down. But again, the GBP pairs have some interesting daily candlesticks from yesterday. And they had some interesting activity last week, even on it was a lot of craziness we seen with the GBP pairs last week. So gonna be just waiting to see what happens this week with them. But Euro CHF's already rejecting down before the next candlestick, which is about to appear in 1 minute. So let's see what this one is looking like. All right, it just popped up. So let's switch over GBPAUD as well. Yeah, the GBP just got some volume put into the markets, or the JPY just got weaker. Let's see what this one's doing. So that's pushing up too. Interesting. So this is respecting this level. So we could potentially look for Euro JPY buys for right here. Put it underneath here. Pretty tight stop. We'll go to 1 to 2 risk reward because it's already stacked on top of this lower price. New 15-minute candlestick is showing that it wants to continue to push up. Let's see what the 5 minutes doing. It's already broke that wall one time. Could very much come to here again with no issues. And the rest of the Euro pairs are doing. Euro GBP. Interesting. The GBP just got some volume put into the markets. Let's see. The JPY is pushing. So it could very much hit that level here. Yeah, the Euro and the GBP are pushing up right now. Let me see what this is doing with the new candlestick. There we go. I was like, that's not what it's supposed to look like. Okay. So Euro's pushing up right now. So let me see here. So new 5-minute candle is in 2 minutes. So I want to see what this new 5-minute candle is looking like. But I'm liking how Euro New Zealand is looking. It's very good. It's at a very good entry point. So I like how this is looking. So I might call buys on this. Euro JPY is another good setup, but it's too high up for me. Maybe if I enter on this candlestick, that'd be a little bit different, but it could very much retrace right here. So if it does that, might look for a buy there. But as of now, going to leave that alone. But yeah, I'm going to be looking at Euro New Zealand because in 1 minute, a new candlestick's going to pop up. And I want to see what it's looking like because this is in a good position for a buy setup right here. So let's see what that's doing there. Let's see if there's any other potential setups. I like how this is looking. I might just call this out because I like how it's looking. Give me 5 minutes. $1.6. And SL would be about 668. We're gonna say 68.15 or do 68.20. I'm just gonna do 68.15. I'm gonna round it down one. I like to see it hit. Let's see, hit this wall, but when it hits this wall, it could very much retrace. But if we can keep going, that'd be great. Yeah, so this is what we're gonna go for. I want to see it hit here. That's the ultimate goal. Let's do. Yeah, so here's the setup I'm looking at. I entered this. I just put it into the free signal room. Like I said, my SL is gonna be 168.15. I'd like to see it go right here. It had to break this wall here, where it's at right now. So it could very much retest and push up. I'd like to see it to come right here. And if it can stack on top of this lower price, could very much hit the zone again or potentially continue to go up. But again, that won't be until later on into London and especially probably New York session, when volume will be truly pumping for it to do its thing. So GBPJPY did a pump up. It's respecting those resistance levels still, pushing back down. So not too worried about that as of now. Let's see what Euro CHS doing. Good thing we did not enter that yet and we waited. But we're in Euro New Zealand as of now. Let's see what Euro JPY is doing. They're very interesting. So yeah, Euro JPY is doing its own thing. That's what I'm saying. So there's some similarities, but then we can see some differences. But then again, the Euro, well, this is the 5 minute. We're going to 15. Okay, yeah, still pushing up. Yeah, so that's fine. Because again, I don't really want to necessarily chase a trade. I want to get as close to the entry as possible. And like I said before, the JPY pairs, that's a lot of pips. Because from right here to the zone, it's at 139.41. To even if it retraces back to the bottom of the zone, that is 40 pips extra drawdown. So it's honestly up to you if you're okay with that extra drawdown. And of course, if you really think it's going to be pushing and you want to put into account those risks, you could just adjust your lot size to a smaller lot size, things like that. But I personally would just rather leave it alone and enter trades closer to my entries or closer to the entry ranges I want. So GBPAUD, speaking of that, is at a good entry point as well. Did a retest of this wall right here, rejected this wall right here. It's pushing back down. So new 5-minute candlestick is about to pop up in 1 minute. Well, probably about like 30 seconds. So we're going to see what that is looking like. But as of now, just looking at the other pairs, seeing what they're doing, seeing if there's any other potential setups. As of now, I'm only in 2 trades. I'm in Euro New Zealand and GBPJPY. And I'm already blue on Euro New Zealand. Let me fix those TPs. I put 6.8 on the 6.9. I mixed up the SL stuff. So let me fix those. But I'm already blue on Euro New Zealand, which is a good thing. And TP1 just got hit for Euro New Zealand. So let's go on Euro New Zealand and take a look at that. Yeah, so TP1 just got hit. Yep, so I want to see the next checkpoint to be like right here. I want to see it come up to here, but we have to take things step by step. Yeah, but it is slowly doing this thing. But don't be surprised if a slight retracement happens. Speaking of retracements, looks like the futures are doing retracements, which is no issue. Then I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm either going to look for sell opportunities up here or down here. I'm not going to go enter buys, even if it is looking like it's going up. I'm just going to stick to my rules, and until I see the signs of an uptrend, strictly look for sells. So I like how these are looking. GBAUD is looking nice. Your CHF is rejecting that level, which is good to look at. But yeah, so now right now, like I said, we're just waiting for volume really to pick up. And that's really going to push and knock all our TPs out the park when volume picks up. But TP1 got hit for Euro New Zealand so far. That was a quick, like about 10, 15 pips right there. So I think that was like 10 pips so far. Not 10, yeah, 10 pips so far. And then GJ, it's almost back at entry. Yeah, so things are looking pretty good right now. I like to see what oil is doing, but my screen don't want to load for me. So I'll just go back to that later. Euro New Zealand's pushing up some more. Looks like it's about to try to hit the second TP. We're about 8 pips away, 7-8 pips away from the next TP. But as we can see, it's pushing. Let's go on a smaller time frame. And again, make sure to secure your profits because everybody should be blue right now. And whenever you're happy with your profits, you can pull out. You don't have to hold till every TP. You can pull out when you're happy. You do not have to hold. Don't ever feel like you have to hold to every TP. I just put multiple TPs so you can put one in, this, that, and the third. But not every TP is guaranteed to get hit. That's the reality of trading. There's all these levels of price, all these rejections, retracements that's going to happen. And of course, it's still the beginning of the week, so volume is still slowly pushing up. But oil's at a good potential sell setup. Obviously, the best one would be right here. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it, see what it is doing. But yeah, so far we're just chilling right now. Want to see the new 15-minute candlestick just appeared, so I want to see if it's going to break that next level of price. Just going to have to watch and see. GBPJPY looks like it's about to try to break this wall again and continue downwards. So we're going to see what happens there. GBPAUD doing the same thing. Euro CHF looking like it's about to try to push down again. And then Euro New Zealand looks like it's still trying to push upwards, which is good. Yeah, and then Euro JPY looking very same. Let's see what New Zealand JPY is doing. And so that's ranging too. Yeah, so right now we're just pretty much chilling. Like I said, some moves are going to happen pretty quick. I think it's going to be slower. It all has to do with volume and momentum. But for the most part, it's going to be a pretty standard Tuesday. Entering a few trades during London, waiting until pre-New York to enter the rest. Moves probably not going to start until closer to New York session, which is pretty normal as well. But as we can see right here, Euro New Zealand is stacking on this top of level. It's attempting, I should say, to stack on top of this level of price. If it can successfully do so, it can continue to push upwards. But it does have this wall right here it's going to hit. But that's why we got to trade with the trend and volume. That way volume and the trend can worry about blowing through these. Because again, if you're trading in a ranging market or a low volume market, it's going to be looking like this, rangy. It's not going to have enough volume to keep it on one side of the table. It's either going to, because with volume, you see they'll push it up or push it down. When it's not a lot of volume, it's just going to keep flip-flopping. So what we want to enter trades when there's a lot of volume in the market, which is why we trade during London and New York session. That way we don't have to worry about that. That's one less thing to worry about. But of course, again, things do happen. News, not even news, just things going on around the world, whatever's going on in that country. And also, sometimes things just end up not going the way we predicted. That's just the reality of trading. But for the most part, again, we're going with probability and what's most likely to happen. So that's why we trade based off of the trend and off these levels of price. But again, we're just chilling right now, pretty much waiting until pre-New York for volume to really make these charts start to move. I'm just paying attention to the potential setups and also the trades I have my eye on. Your CHF's looking good. Your New Zealand's looking fine still. Missed TP2 by a couple pips. Let me see if I hit it on my broker. Some of my broker's a little bit. No, still missed it by about 5 pips, but not too bad. We're doing a slight retracement. So if you are not, again, we're up right now, so don't let your screen turn red, but it's stacking on top of this lower price, so it could very much potentially continue to push up, but it does have this wall right here, and it is on this wall right here, which is why it's pushing down a little bit. So we're just gonna have to watch and see what is happening and then go from there. As you can see, it's still trying. If we're going a smaller time frame, it's still kind of attempting to try to push up. As we can see right here, new 5 minute just popped up, but it's struggling to break this wall right here, which is why we're at a little halt at the moment, because it's trying to break it, but it's not enough volume right now to continue to push it up. So that's why we see it struggling at this price right here, because you can very much clearly see how on the dotted red line, it's underneath this little wall of price. This is where it halted. It broke through it, dropped down a little, and now it's underneath it, and it's attempting to continue pushing upwards. So we're just going to have to watch and see what it does. And the GJ, again, still trying. Let's see here. Yeah, but I don't really see any other setups as of now. So again, it's going to be looking like a pretty standard Tuesday volume. I want to see what Wednesday is going to look like, but of course we got to take things day at a time. So I have a few setups I'm looking at. I showed you a couple of them. Futures and indices, still sticking to that plan. Going to be looking for sell setups. So just going to be patiently waiting for a price to go to the areas I'd like to see them at. But yeah, I'm still holding GJ. I'm still holding Euro New Zealand, and we're going to see what later into the day brings us. But again, I want to see it break these levels here. Stack on top of this level of price. So in the next 15-minute candlestick, I'd like to see it do something like this. Hit this wall right here, break it. I want to see it really come up to here. So I'd like to see it continue to go upwards. And you can see off this lower wick that it is trying, but it's underneath this wall. And that's what's giving it a hard time. And it's trying to break this level of traffic here. But if it can successfully do it, we can potentially catch some more pips. But as of now, we're just watching and waiting. Just about an hour into London, so not too bad. But as of now, we're just gonna be watching and waiting to see what market wants to do. And USX is retracing back up to another potential sell setup. So let me see what US30 is looking like. US30 still would have a ways to go. It's almost in the middle of the zone. So let's go on a bigger time frame to see what we're looking at. Once it decides to load. Yeah, I might have to figure out. I might start putting like pinning the pairs I like to look at over here instead of holding the tabs open, having all the tabs open, at least during the streaming, because some days it'd be no issue, but other days when I'm trying to pull things up, it is acting up, and I can slow things down. As you can see, it's rejecting that level still. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. Yeah, it's just my third week stream, so I'm still tweaking things out. I have a lot of things planned, so just be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to fix this because I can't have the charts freezing up on me in the middle of trades or in the middle of the stream. So which one am I on? I think I'm on. Now I gotta figure out which one I'm on. I think I'm on this one. Am I? No, I'm not. Am I on this one? I don't even remember which one I'm on. I'm on one of these. I don't think it's this one. I think it's... No, it's not. So it must be this one. Yeah, here we go. So, broke the zone. It's retracing back up. So it could come to fill this up right here, which is fine because that's, again, where these zones are marked up for a potential sell. So this could very much either be the start of the uptrend, which will be determined how it reacts up here. If he wants to respect it as resistance, come down, or if it builds back up and continues to push upwards. But that is still further into the future, further into the day. It could very much, after hitting this level right here, retrace back down, or it could do what I said. But it's still in a downtrend as of now, so I'm still only going to be looking for sales. But it's reacting to this level right here, and it's stuck in the traffic right here. So again, we just waiting and watching, observing, which is what mostly trading is. The trading part, entering a trade, is the easiest part. You know, typing in a number, hitting buy, sell, that's the easiest part. Challenging part is waiting for the best opportunity to enter, watching the charts, and then just having patience. Yeah, GJ is struggling to break those walls right there. Yeah, so we're going to be waiting until closer to New York. So I say about maybe 6, 7 my time is when things are going to really start to shake and get active. So as of now, I'm just going to keep an eye on gold, futures and indices, SPX, US30 NAS100, GBPJPY, USDX50. And then, of course, I'm still going to be looking at GJ and Euro New Zealand for those signals I called out. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Euro CHF still, GBPAUD still. But that's the only things I really see potentially some good setups for right now. But again, still just have to wait for multiple confirmations. Also wait for it to get to the preferred entry points. So right now it's just chilling right now, just a waiting game. And we're going to be seeing what the markets give us today. Because again, we are opportunists. We don't control the markets. We can't make the markets go up or go down. So that's why it's important to go with the trend and go with momentum at all times. And then, of course, risk the same percentage every trade, because that's really the secret. If you risk the same percentage and your strategy is a highly accurate one, you're going to win more trades than you lose. And then, of course, most importantly, when you're in profit, if you secure profit or close, whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter because you're still making money. So if you're securing money, your account's still going to grow and you're not going to, lose money, if that makes sense. So that's the most important thing. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to keep an eye on these trades, but I'm going to figure out a better way to set up these charts because it's slowing down the thing when I start streaming. So that's what I'm going to figure out to make the experience of watching and streaming easier on both me and the viewers. So those that are in here, make sure to like the video, make sure to check out my trade breakdowns as well as my trading tips videos. Let's see here. I have some content on editing that is on the way, so be on the lookout for that as well. You can contact me on my Instagram, same as my YouTube, Playmaker_way. New 15-minute candlestick just appeared, so we're going to see what this brings us. But yeah, you can contact me on Instagram, Playmaker_way, or you can contact me on Telegram. And if you're in the free signal room, all that information is right here, Playmaker_way, or my Telegram right there. But yeah, ain't really too much action going on. So I'm just gonna be watching the charts and going to be tweaking my streaming setup. So before I leave, I'm just going to be checking a couple more pairs to see what's going on. Euro CHF is looking good. Yeah, so like I said, probably not much going to be else going on until closer to 6 o'clock in New York session. So probably not going to be calling anything until then. Things could change though, because again, there's still plenty of time before then. So just be on the lookout for that. But I'm going to see y'all in the next live stream tomorrow morning.